All right, let's talk about what happens when you say something a little too blunt on Twitter and then the whole internet decides to explode over it.
I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
This is a story of how a single tweet from a VTuber named Deme turned into a full blown community debate, call out accusation of mean girl behavior, and even a copyright takedown. The conversation started with one sentence: streaming isn't hard, but it quickly unraveled into something way bigger, touching on privilege, grind culture, gatekeeping, and the emotional toll of being a creator online. So on July 2nd, Demi tweets, "I hate when people say streaming is hard. It's really not. I'm blessed as F being able to sit on my butt all day yapping, playing games, and reacting to videos. Taking breaks whenever I want to is a privilege." To some, this was honest, relatable, refreshing, a reminder that content creation can be a dream job. To others, it was tone deaf, dismissive, maybe even insulting to the thousands of streamers who put in hours of grinding, juggling full time jobs, schools, family, and still barely break 10 viewers. I personally didn't see anything wrong with this post because I'm married, but at the same time, I do my all of my own stuff. I do my models, I do my rigging, I edit my own videos, and even though right now I have some help from the community and friends who help me run our Minecraft server for everyone, and we have a friend who is clipping shorts for us and sometimes pitching in with editing when I am very sick. It is a lot of work, but at the same time, I didn't see anything wrong with the tweet from Demi because it is a dream job. And as you can see, there's a lot of people who decided to chime in with their own opinions on it, even from the bigger VTubers. So you see Sayu commenting, "I wish I had more time to stream. I'm too busy with my 7 other jobs." Then Tricky chiming in that she would rather continue doing content creation than going back to any of her other jobs. We have Paul chiming in saying that it is a lot of work. And again, everyone's gonna have different opinions on it, especially depending on which phase in your life you are when it comes to content creation. Are you still on the beginning of the grind where every single day matters what you do? Or are you somewhere in the middle where you can just take your time and you're already comfortable with what you're doing? Or if you're still trying to go higher up. So obviously a lot of people had their own opinions on all of this. And that's fine. Everyone should have their own opinion. We're not supposed to sit and think all alike. I do want to also underline that to Demi's credit, she didn't just post and dipped, she followed up with a long post clarifying her stance. She explained that she wasn't talking about growth or becoming famous, she was talking about the act of streaming itself. She's not talking about being the number one VTuber, she's not talking about being this top VTuber in all of the world. She was literally just talking about streaming on its own, switching on OBS, sitting in front of the your iPhone, webcam, whatever, and just streaming, playing games, reacting. She shared how she started streaming while recovering from surgery, isolated and looking for a community. How she streamed to 10 to 20 people for years and was perfectly content with that. But when she graduated from university, she had a choice: pursue streaming full time or go get a job in computer science. Streaming was not for everyone, but once you know it's for you, it's addicting. The biggest stressor is the pressure you put on yourself, the goals you set, and even then, luck plays a role. And I have to agree with that take. Everyone decides on their own how much pressure and how much work they want to put on themselves. No one's forcing you to be your editor, be your artist, be all of that to yourself, and how often you stream. And of course, luck has a huge part in all of it too. You can make yourself grow faster with a certain grind set, like daily uploads, daily streaming, daily posting, all of that stuff. But it does lead to a lot quicker burnout too. She ended this comment by saying streaming is hard in its own way, but it's also a passion job, and people can make themselves miserable chasing unrealistic goals. In my opinion, I do think it was a thoughtful post, honest, but it wasn't enough to stop the backlash. Enter Monia, another VTuber, a small indie creator with a very different perspective. She quote tweeted Deme and said, "It's easier when you got a whole team, manager, or corporate backing you, but doing it all solo, not so much." She pointed out that a lot of streamers are solo creators, doing everything themselves: marketing, editing, engagement, networking. For them, streaming is hard. Technically, I would have to side more with Monia, but at the same time, I have to say, you on your own decide how much you want to put on your shoulders and on your plate. So I do see where Monia is coming from as well with all of this. And I actually don't know if Deme even has like managers and whatnot. Monia later added that she's also a full-time student, balancing all of this alone, and admitted, "Sometimes I feel like dying." It is a lot on your plate. But again, we decide ourselves how much actual pressure and work we're putting on ourselves. But whether you agree with Monia or not, it was a vulnerable post. But then came the tweet that really made things personal. Deme blocked Monia for her response and quote retweet, and Monia posted it in her comments with saying, "Sorry, you cannot handle another opinion, I guess." And that's when it all spiraled down. I personally think it spiraled down when Demi even blocked her. I think if Demi just have moved on and didn't do anything, just ignored it, no one even would have gave a damn. But yeah, this came off short, spicy, a little bit passive aggressive. After Monia's response, Demi blocked her. It's not uncommon in the content creation sphere. A lot of people, when they feel like someone is quote unquote attacking them or even has a different opinion, a lot of people just rush to blocking someone in a snap. But in the age of public timelines and parasocial communities, blocking someone doesn't just end things. It actually escalates things even more, and people will start digging more up into all of this. People will start poking more. It just, every time you disagree with someone on the internet, you block them, people will see it as more of a reason to just dig around and talk about it. So you kind of just adding fuel into the fire with when you block someone. Monia soon posted a quick update tweet where she claimed that during a Twitch stream, Deme mocked her live, even going so far as to compare her to Cinder. In case you don't know who Cinder is, she's a controversial VTuber some associate with number chasing or brand obsession, and a lot of allegations of intentional sabotage of other VTubers. According to Monia, Deme said on stream, "People like me are why streaming isn't fun. People with passion actually grow." That felt like a personal attack towards Monia, especially since she did pull up her stuff and she did directly talk about that specific response. And the viewers agreed. Now it was no longer just about streaming being hard, it was about how creators treat each other. All of that just escalated to such a vast degree of just shit tossing at each other. And then on July 5th, Deme addressed the situation again. She said the entire post stemmed from people misrepresenting her words. She wrote, "I never said growing was easy. I said being in a place of privilege to do this full time and complain that it's harder than a normal job is out of touch. Streaming is easy. We just playing games and reacting to videos." She does emphasize that she's still the same person she was when she had 20 viewers, and that she's not going to stay quiet when people farm outrage or make assumptions about her. Her words: "Some of y'all got too used to crying and making up shit and getting something out of it. So at this point, things are getting excruciatingly heated." And then a video surfaces. Or rather, it did. It's no longer there. It's gone. Poof! Like magic. Someone made a commentary video using demo stream clips highlighting how she reacted to Monia's tweet. But shortly after it went up, video was taken down by a copyright claim from Deme. And as you can see, you can literally, when you open the page, you can see this video is no longer available due to a copyright claim from Deme. Now keep in mind, this wasn't a video made by Monia herself, it was from a fan, not someone attacking her, but someone just covering the situation and that's it. And that's when people started getting extremely heated about the whole situation. So now at this point, there's way more content creators, way more VTubers and getting themselves involved with their opinions and their takes on this. And it's genuinely after the copyright strike, it doesn't look good for Demi. Even Rosie Belmu has chimed in with her statement on the whole situation. If you're going to publicly drag another girl for disagreeing with you and block them so they cannot defend themselves, why copyright a video made by a fan that shows the situation? So by this point, everyone is calling it just a pure mean girl behavior from the side of Deme. Rosie also added, dragging another streamer live and comparing her to Cinder is so unnecessary. She wasn't attacking you, she just had a different opinion. And I have to agree with Rosie completely on this. Monia was not attacking Deme. She genuinely just wanted to have her own perspective added there. The only time where Monia did, I wouldn't even say attack, but just more of like a more passive-aggressive statement was when Demi blocked her. And honestly, this might be the part where Demi lost a lot of neutral observers because blocking someone is one thing, but striking a video that discusses public tweets and live stream footage that crosses into censorship territory. All of us here are content creators who are involved in this conversation, and if you don't want someone discussing something online, maybe you shouldn't be putting that online. Maybe you shouldn't be making public posts about it. Maybe you shouldn't be dragging another person on stream. Just maybe, then all of this would have been avoided. So here's the thing. Both sides kind of have a point. Deme wasn't saying streaming success is easy. She was saying that streaming as an activity is a privilege. Compared to other jobs, it can be fun, flexible, and self-directed. Monia wasn't attacking either. She was pointing out how solo creators often face a completely different reality, especially if they're juggling school or mental health. The issue wasn't the disagreement, it was the escalation. The disagreement was fine. We're all adults here. Disagreements happen. It was the escalation that created all of this mess. The live stream jabs, the blocking, the copyright takedown. It turned what could have been a valuable conversation into a messy fallout. It would have been so much better if there would have been an open conversation for everyone to be able to have their own opinion, how they feel about growing as a VTuber or growing as a content creator. It would have been so much value to anyone who is considering to become one. And look, VTubing and streaming aren't like most industries. They thrive on transparency and community. When creators mock, block, or silence each other, it sends a message. Whether you're on Team Deme, Team Monia, or just here with popcorn, one thing is clear. Saying streaming isn't hard might just be one of the hardest things you can say online right now, especially with all the controversies around it happening, with all the arguments that are happening. This is not even the first time that people are going heavy on arguing with each other if streaming is actually hard or not. But thanks for watching this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Deme was right to speak up, or did she fumble the handling of the backlash? And was Monia's response fair or overtly sensitive? Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Yeah, fly high, check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.